The Red Bull Ring welcomed MotoGP back after the summer break, and Spielberg Circuit played host to two stunning weekends of jam-packed racing. You may have missed some of the on-track action, but fear not, as these are your other battles from the Styrian and Austrian Grand Prix. Jorge Martin took the win in emphatic fashion in the restarted Styrian GP, but there was plenty of other excitement further back the field. They say that your first arrival is your teammate in MotoGP, and so it proved between Taka Nakagami and Alex Marquez, as the two got up close and personal when battling for a top 6 position. Marquez held the advantage in the opening stages and even managed to strike back when his teammate moved in front, but this battle went the way of the Japanese rider, who moved into P6 on the 9th lap. It was to get worse for Marquez, as by the end of the 17th lap he had fallen behind both Alex Rins and Brad Binder. Older brother Mark then moved through on the LCR Honda rider, though it looks like the sibling rivalry ends there, with the two embracing one another after the race. While Marquez slipped to a P9 finish, it was better news for Nakagami, who would get the better of Johan Zarco late on. However, he was powerless to resist Brad Binder's charge through the field, with the South African moving past both the Zarco and the LCR Idemitsu rider on the final lap to take a P4 finish. Elsewhere, Iker Lecuona found himself right in the thick of a number of exciting battles over the course of the 27 laps. After getting a good start from the line, the Spaniard was on the edge of the top 10 places when Marc Marquez went through on him 6 laps in. He then went toe-to-toe with Enea Bastianini, with the two trading blows before the Italian eventually made a move stick on the 11th lap, though all his hard work was undone when he received a long lap penalty, which relegated him back to P17. Lecuona was also handed a long lap penalty for a track limits infraction later in the race, and that dropped him into a battle with Tech Trois teammate Danilo Petrucci. It looked as if the veteran number 9 would finish ahead of his teammate, but a mistake at turn 4 in the final lap saw the Italian slump back to 18th and out of points contention. 1 week later, it was the turn of the Austrian GP, and after a thrilling finale, victory went to a brave Brad Binder, who boldly decided to stay out on slicks as the rain began to fall. His tyre gamble paid off handsomely, as he took a first win of the season and just his second in the Premier class. Satellite counterpart Lecuona was another who stayed out on slicks, and the Tech Trois rider was only a few corners away from an unlikely podium. The Spaniard's strong start saw him jump from 16th on the grid to 8th before race winner Binder took him on the 4th lap. A lengthy duel with Taka Nakagami ensued before the Honda rider moved ahead on the 19th lap. The two remained side by side until the end of race mayhem, which put Lecuona into podium contention. Something of a West weather specialist, he sat in P2 as he rode through the 3rd sector, but it was a stretch too far as the riders who changed from wets came streaming by him at the final corners. Despite missing out on the top 3, a P6 finish is still a best ever MotoGP result for the KTM rider. It was almost a race to remember for Aleix Espargaro also, who failed to make this move on Joan Mir's stick in the opening stages. As a result, the Aprilia rider found himself on the tail of Miguel Oliveira before getting on the inside of the Portuguese rider at turn 3 on the 14th lap. He then set his sights on Jack Miller 20 laps in to move into 7th place. The number 41 probably couldn't believe his luck, as he shot up to P2 in the blink of an eye when the majority of the lead group entered pit lane. Remaining on slicks, Espargaro couldn't maintain his advantage on the final lap to bring the Noelle factory a first ever Premier Class podium, dropping back to 10th in the treacherous conditions. It was a manic, chaotic and thrilling 2 weeks in Austria. We cannot wait for more when we return to Silverstone for the first time in 2 years for round 12 of the 2021 MotoGP World Championship.